We've said it before, that every Jeep doesn't have to be some massive machine with extreme trails in mind. But some Jeeps do. This J392 is the full meal deal build. It's a dream machine that has it all, and it flat gets it done. Let's start with the JL RT3 long arm suspension that gives the Jeep an honest 3.5 inches of lift, enough to run a set of 40-inch Nittos. Ben wanted to keep a low center of gravity, so the bolt-on RT3 was chosen. The RT3 long arm includes our IR, or independent rotation bushings, which allows for smooth, resistance-free drooping of the suspension, and the ride is just amazing. I ran this same long arm suspension on my Slimer with a little 2-liter turbo in it, and the launch from a dead stop was just flat. But when I respectfully eased into the throttle on Ben's Jeep here, well, I actually full-on mashed the throttle, but it was for science. The 475 horsepower 392 launches straight and flat with no frame twisting at all. It kind of makes me understand why all the high horsepower shops out there use our long arm suspension on all their high horsepower rigs. It kind of keeps their customers alive. Off-the-line control also translates into great off-road control for those steep climbs, as well as highway stability. Falcon 3.3 piggyback reservoir shocks are a big part of any Jeep suspension, and especially the way they handle. And the adjustability on the compression side of these shocks make it so they can be trail tuned at any time. And believe me, the adjustability on these shocks is something you'll feel. Looking at the Nomad wheels in the 8-lug bolt pattern tells us that these wheels must be joined to a TeraFlex axle. Nomads are available in a 5, 6, and 8-lug bolt pattern, and the built-in air downs are so easy and quick that you'll no longer find yourself suffering through a bumpy trail ride just because you're too lazy to go through all the air down hassle. Just twist the knob, wait for the air to stop, and when it does, you twist the attractive red knob to close and you'll be done. All right, back to the axles. This full float TeraFlex axle conversion takes the worry out of the high horsepower, large tire to parts failure ratio. The axles use a 35 spline chrome moly shaft, ARB lockers, and Dana Super 60 gear sets. The 3/8 wall and 3¼ inch tubes with the 1/4 inch laser cut brackets are nearly indestructible. Our wheel speed sensors are completely protected from the sensor destroying mud and rocks, and the housings are coated with a high UV resistance powder coat, not some rattle can paint job. Okay, that's enough on the axles. Let's talk brakes. When this beast gets rolling, and believe me, it hauls, stopping it could be a real issue without a set of our Delta 4-piston caliper disc brakes. Being able to hold the Jeep back while in low range, with the Hemi pushing it down some steep hill, it's not even an issue. These disc brakes stop like no other. Thank goodness. Now, looking at the rear tailgate and the lack of a spare, well, that's pretty obvious to see. Sometimes a 130-pound spare tire hanging off the back of your Jeep can be a real burden, especially while trying to climb a steep rock face. You know, it's a vision blocker as well. And let's face it, it's excess weight on the drag strip. But until now, dropping that spare left us with an ugly bracket hanging off the back of our Jeeps. And its removal wasn't even possible because of the camera and the third brake light that was there. That all just changed with the new TeraFlex Alpha Spare Tire Delete. You'll notice that the Spare Delete is mounted to our Alpha hinge tire carrier. So switching back and forth to have a spare or not having a spare is going to be pretty easy. This lightweight accessory is made out of HDPE, or high-density polyethylene. But of course, you know what that meant. This stuff is tough, and it holds its color. This bracket has all the provisions for a factory camera, a brake light, and as an added bonus, it has a license plate mount, complete with a light. But that's not all. The TeraFlex Spare Tire Delete also accommodates the rear tailgate vent, maintaining the ability to purge any nasty passenger compartment gases that may be present. Now, while we're here, let's take a look at the new JL bumper. This work of art was designed with departure angle in mind, as well as corner protection, and it's cut out to accommodate a 40-inch spare. It also allows for the factory trailer hitch mount as well. The new TeraFlex front bumper with winch mount and hoop was designed with a center pull winch in mind. The Warren Xenon fits great, and this bumper is also designed to clear a 40-inch tire and not get in the way when you're trying to crawl up on a boulder. D-ring tow points are of course included on both the front and the rear. You know, just in case you have to tow your buddy or act as a winch point for those that failed to crawl the obstacle that you just dominated. Dominated with the total confidence that only a TeraFlex equipped Jeep can provide. You think that was too much?